Hi, I'm Anna, the EY Nordic Chief Impact Officer, and I'm here with Subho, the Vice President of Sustainability at Nokia. And we are going to speak about how we can really accelerate the transition to a green economy and how we accelerate sustainability and impact. And I wonder, hi, first of all, welcome. It's really nice to have you here. So my first question is really around, you've been here a couple of days now at COP30. So what is your reflection where the world needs to go, and particularly the corporate side and corporates like Nokia? Where do we need to accelerate?
Thank you, Anna, and thank you for having me here. I'm really honored to be here. COP30 so far has been hot, humid, and hectic, but it's been very exciting. I would say that I'm even more convinced about the role of private sector in transitioning to a cleaner and equitable future in the society. And I'm particularly excited about a validation of our thesis that connectivity is at the core of equitable transition. In today's modern world, the digital infrastructure is sort of the foundation for many of the progress that the world needs to see. You know, be it the energy transition, be it the circularity, material transition, or be the transition to an equitable society. And as Nokia, whose main business is to be able to build that communication infrastructure, that digital fabric around the world, I'm even more energized, I would say, that we are, thank you, we are being able to leverage what we do the best in our business, which is about building the technology that helps to connect, people, industries, intelligence, data centers, and so on, and help that in the transition of many of the topics that we've been talking about here at COP.
Thank you. Another question is around, so we have done a research, particularly among Europe CEOs, and they say that the ones that really integrate sustainability into their core business, they are actually having a 40% more positive view of the future. So my question is, how do you really make sure to integrate sustainability into innovation, into your business plan, and connect it, like the connect purpose with the profit?
Thank you. And I couldn't agree more, perhaps, with what you found through the survey that EY did. For Nokia, sustainability is not just embedded in our purpose and vision, and being a company in the Nordics and with our Finnish roots, with a history of over 160 years, sustainability has been part of our approach in various forms of our business across the world. That's been always there. I think what excites me the most is the transition that we've been seeing in the past few years, where we are increasingly embedding sustainability in every part of our business. So to your question about how sustainability is embedded in our strategy, what's key for us, the main focus areas for sustainability for us is to be able to accelerate decarbonization, transition to circular economy, look at how we can bridge the digital divide, and look at how we can develop technology with responsible use of technology in mind. Now, if I step back for a moment and think about these areas, which are the key material areas for us in sustainability, they're all very business connected. Today, we build the communication infrastructure that telecom operators and data center and hyperscalers use. That is an energy-intensive, technology. As we know, AI in data centers are consuming a lot of energy. Telecom operations are using. Decarbonizing that and building energy efficiency in our R&D is critical for our competitiveness and hence business strategy. If you take the bridging digital divide, even with all the developments over the last 3 decades in the internet revolution, still close to 2.6 billion people, as per ITU, are underserved by broadband. So that's about 30% of world population. So So even if Nokia's mobile connectivity today serves 5.6 billion people around the world, still there is so much potential and an opportunity for so many people to be connected to the society. And like we are discussing at COP, I mean, a lot of the people who are unconnected also happen to be the most vulnerable people for climate change. So bridging that digital divide is not just core to our business, but it also an opportunity for us to embed sustainability. So these are just a couple of examples of what we are doing to embed our sustainability in R&D, in product development, in supply chain, in our market access, as well as in our governance process.
Thank you. This is really, really interesting. And just speaking about the complexity of the world we're living in right now, we have geopolitical tension, we have financial instability, we have war close by, and at the same time we have this accelerating climate change that we know that the cost of inaction is just brutal. So how can you keep, like, with all these different crises, how can you keep on the leadership and not only doing what is required, but really taking that market leadership you were speaking about? And also you were speaking a little bit about the Nordics as a region, that you believe that we can have that kind of leadership. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that as well?
Sure, thank you, Anna, and a great question, and I give a lot of thinking to this as well. I think in any leadership, what really counts, and I'm not just talking about business leadership, what really counts is to be aware of where we come from and be very clear-eyed of where we are headed. Not just in sort of next quarter and the quarter after, but really a long term. And I'm privileged to work in a company and represent Nokia, who has over the period of time have developed that sort of long-term value creation in mind. You talked about collaboration, and that's sort of the key in today's world. So let me give you a couple of examples. The first is here at COP on Monday, we talked a lot with International Telecommunication Union, ITU, where we are part of what is called the Green Digital Action Stream. And what is happening there is several technology industry players, telecom operators, and other players, including hyperscalers and data center players. They're all coming together to define the path for a decarbonized technology deployment in networks around the world. And that's something that is very powerful for us because we don't have to do this alone. We learn from other companies. We create a common framework. So that's key. But also about the future, we are at almost the beginning of, as we know, an AI super cycle. And that AI super cycle is really exciting. None of us know everything about it yet. But what we know is it has the potential to significantly transform communities and economies and society at large. One of the recent partnership examples that we are really excited about at Nokia is a couple of weeks back, about 10 days ago, we announced a partnership where NVIDIA, the world's leading GPU maker, is going to invest in Nokia. And this is a strategic partnership to be able to accelerate two things. First is, as the mobile technologies move from 5G to 6G, how can we build AI in radio technologies so that no longer the AI is in big data centers. It can actually, the processing of AI can be at the edge and on your phone. Now think about it for a moment. It has the potential to then also significantly alter the way AI energy efficiency works, because you are no longer processing large AI in large data center, large models in large data centers, but actually you're distributing it to the edges. So this potential is not just about accelerating the next generation of technology, but it's also a huge opportunity for us to be resource efficient as we develop that. It is also a partnership. The NVIDIA partnership will, help Nokia to move forward. 9 out of 10 hyperscalers and data centers in the world today use Nokia's networking technology, and it will help us to bring more resource-efficient technology and smart data center designs to the as the AI ramp-up happens in this world.
So thank you so much. The last question I have is around your customers. Many of them also have really, really strong goals when it comes to both decarbonization and also around operating within the planetary boundaries. How can you, as a company, help your clients to really put in your views and your knowledge and your innovation to be really client-centric in their value proposition as well?
Thank you, Anna. And of course, being client-centric is something that is you're probably one of the great examples, and we learn from not just our customers but also partners like you. You talked about the planetary boundary, so let me give you one example. We're at COP, but everybody today understands one of the key boundaries that we are facing is energy access. The reason I pinpoint on that is we've been talking about energy access in the AI world as AI starts to ramp up, data centers and the energy access of AI. But I'd like to take a moment to actually look back, because as I mentioned in the previous answer, sometimes it's helpful to look back from where the world has come. And if I look back at the internet era, while there has been a significant progress in a lot of the parts of the world in the internet access, as I mentioned, 2.6 billion people still don't have connectivity, and one of the big boundaries there has been energy access, the access to electricity, because without electricity you cannot run many things, including communication networks. So, and a lot of that, as you know, is in Global South. So let me give you an example of what we've been working on for the African market, where the access to energy is very limited. And because of that, there is simply no cellular network in most countries. So in the last 12 months, we came up with something called Nokia Rural Connect solution. This is a completely off-grid solution meant specifically for low bandwidth requirement market, because many of these markets don't need the solutions you need in big city centers and things like that. You need low bandwidth, the ability to for the communities to connect and to be able to do their daily job, but they don't have the right access to power. So we built something which is completely solar, completely off-grid, and does multi-sectoral transmission in a way that really helps to kind of reduce not just the energy consumption and the greenhouse gas emission, but also reuse the components. So 25% of the components are already in circular. In the last 12 months, yeah, we're very excited about this innovation. In the last 12 months, we have rolled it out to 7 countries in Africa. So, for example, in Cameroon, would you believe just 2 weeks after we launched that out, there is a 5 times increase in the number of people who got connected for the first time. Now, connectivity is just the starting point. What I am really excited about is all those people will now have the access to healthcare, education, jobs, and hence an economic progress, and hopefully that helps in keeping the transition into a cleaner and the greener future.
Yeah, that's really about making the green transition also very inclusive. So thank you for that. And thank you for listening. This conversation has been about leadership. It has been about collaboration and partnership. It has been of the view of having a long-term view on everything you do. And it's about innovation and embedding sustainability into the core of the business. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much for attending.
Thank you for having me, Anna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.